Hi guys, welcome back. This is Binary Guy, and I'm back on my own server this time. It has been a while since we've been here. Alright, so, let's see, where were we? Let's see, wiring up the buttons. We have the brewing stands all placed out here. And I have another idea that I'm actually going to get to before we wire up the buttons. I know, I keep putting that off, but this is actually going to be pretty cool, so I think it'll be okay. Alright, before I get to building it here, let me go ahead and switch over to my creative testing world, and I will show you all what I've been working on. Alright, and here we are, and this is the project that I've been toying around with a little bit. You see the redstone is not very compact, and so this is just an early prototype. Doesn't exactly do what I wanted to do. So ideally, you come in, push a button, and water shouldn't spill out all over the floor. What you do now have access to is the water that's up above this block. So you hit it again, and it goes away. Now, I don't really like the idea of it flooding the whole room every time we do that, and the redstone is pretty big. A lot bigger than we would really want our redstone to be back in the walls, because that's going to be a lot of space, a lot of redstone dug out. Slime, this is not your experiment. So I played around with it some more, got this idea. You notice it kind of looks like my potions room. There's a reason for that. So now if you push the button, you get this cool block swapper out. And if I put water up here above it, you see I'm just making a infinite spring right there. Do that, press the button, and then you can see you can access the water, but it doesn't actually flow out in the room. And that's because this is a really nice fast block switcher. So here's the wiring for it, and I figured that I would just give a quick tutorial on that. I got this idea from LugnutsK, and he built a similar one. I'll go ahead, I'll put a link in the description for his design. If you want to see how it's built, this is a similar setup right here. So you'd start out, you would have your block, you'd have a piece of redstone here to send a signal back. You gotta put a torch, repeater on each side of that torch, and a block on each side of that. Now here's where we're going to put our regular pistons, one here, and one here. And let's go ahead and put our block and the one that we want to switch out. Alright, so here we would put redstone on top of both of these blocks. And actually let me put a sticky piston here. And here's the block that would be switched out. Missed something? Oh yeah, I need to put a torch on this one. And this one. Okay, so those will both be powered when you push the button. Alright, you notice it's swapping the block out, but it's swapping it fairly slowly. So in order to make it swap it faster, we come around behind it, put a torch there, repeater here, block, and then some redstone. What this will do, it'll send a fast pulse to the center piston, and you notice it's swapping much faster now. So it's swapping up to speed with this one right here. So fast enough that the water doesn't have time to run out. So yeah, this is the horizontal block swapper that I figured out, or well, found rather. And again, that was from LugnutsK. Also for this project, since we are, so ideally, what would happen there, we open the shutter, you can see the brewing stands, and then the block swaps out so you can access the water above. But that's running off of a T flip-flop. And a T flip-flop is essentially a lever. So what we need, so this works off a button, but it needs to be able to work off of a steady circuit, and it needs to be able to send a pulse whenever that steady circuit changes. Let me sleep real quick and I'll explain what's going on over here. Okay, so it's morning. Alright, so what's happening here is this is a little contraption that can be used to send a pulse whenever the input of a lever changes, or the output of a T flip-flop, for example. So if we flip the switch, you see the piston fired just once, so it's back off now. So you notice it was just one pulse. Same thing when you turn it the other way. Alright. Slime, why are you... I'm trying to give a instructional video here. Go away. Alright, so let me just give a quick overview of how this works. I'll go down each side. So on the one side you have a torch. The output of that torch runs up on top of the next block. And then the output of that block comes out a torch on the side, and also a redstone repeater set to 2 ticks. And both of those inputs go into this one block, which is set up right here. On the other side, the power comes directly out, so not through a torch. It goes on top of this block. The output of this block comes out as a redstone repeater set to 2 ticks and a torch, and funnels into this block. And this is just an OR latch, or an OR gate rather. So if either one of these torches are on, this will get powered, which will send out a pulse. And you notice it does not last for very long, because it'll come around, because it's set to 2 ticks. It'll come around and just send that fast pulse. So, one pulse. Yeah, this side lights up. This side lights up, back and forth. This design I found from Lilaznkilla. And I'll just put a link to his video in the description too. Also in my search, I found this does the exact same thing as this. It just uses more pistons. Depends on which one you like better. So this one has 2 sticky pistons involved with it, whereas that one has repeaters. So with this one, if you flip the lever, you can see the piston on the far side send a quick pulse. So there's one pulse, another pulse, another pulse. Essentially this works. Your redstone comes into a block and into the piston. So this block is negated on this side with the redstone torch. And under both of these sticky pistons, there is a redstone torch, as well as redstone wire, so here and here. So whenever these torches, or whenever the blocks pull back, that allows the current to flow through to send a pulse to the output, in this case a piston. So it's pretty simple. I decided to, for my build, I'll be going with this one because it has less noises. So, you know, quieter. There's already going to be a lot of pistons firing off. So this should be a little less noisy, a little less laggy under the floor. Alright, so let's go ahead and figure out how to get all of this set up back in the potions room. Alright, so here we are back in the potions room. Alright, so I want to have the block right here to be the one that's swapped out. Now I had a couple extra design changes I had to make because I had glowstone in some of these places where I would normally have had a redstone torch in the design that I showed you on the creative world. I've cleared up some space back here just so we can do some building. Oops. Alright, so that should be plenty enough to walk around now. Oops. Have no need for that there. I'm gonna put this up here. Okay. I have no room for cobblestone. Oh well. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is place down the sticky piston. Now this is the one that's going to be actually pushing the block in and out. So I won't need that there anymore. Put that up. I'm going to put down repeater here. Alright, and just so you know, this is the block that's going to have power come into it, and this button is just for testing. So eventually we'll run redstone wire into there. Alright, so what this does, it runs power into this block, and on the original design, I would have had a redstone torch off the side of this block. But I can't do that here, so I'm going to put it off the side of this block and run it around. Now normally I would have just put it here, but I have redstone here that controls the shutters, so I can't put it there. And eventually this will be cut off because I'll have a block here, so that's not a problem that it connects right now. Okay, so there's this side. Let me do the same thing on this side. So the power is going to come through to here, up and around. Now on top of these blocks is where the normal pistons are going to be sitting. So I'll go ahead and put one here. Actually, before I do that, let me put in the block that I want to swap out. It's important to put in that block before you put in the pistons, otherwise they'll extend and won't give you a place to put it. So, regular piston there, and no, I think I messed that up again. Let me power this piston. There we go. Now I'll put a regular, or put my other block here. My regular piston there. And because we wanted to make it a fast tick, I'm going to put a torch here, repeater here, redstone dust there. Also we're going to put redstone dust here and there. Alright, I do need to put my stair block on the outside here. You can see the piston already extended, so I need to put the stair block right there. Alright, now if we did this right, cross your fingers. Oops. Can't jump. There we go. If we did this right, this should be a nice, smooth transition. Actually, I think I put the block on the wrong side. Let me switch that out. We'll give it another quick try. See, that one's extended. You break this. Alright, here's the other block we're going to swap it out with. Right there. Oh, and I can't pick my piston back up. There we go. Okay, let's give this a try. Alright, so it did not swap. Let's see what we're missing. Okay, we've got our torch here. We've got our repeaters here that power this block. Let me make sure that when I push the button... Okay. Yeah, this was powering this circuit, so let me go ahead, I'm going to put it back and just show that we have to have blocks here so that that does not connect, because that was powered and it was powering this side, which was breaking everything. Alright, this should work. Alright, so that's swapped. And now it's back. Swapped it again. Notice it's a really fast swap. Okay, so this mechanism is now working properly. Alright, and we would put our water blocks right here. I'm not going to do that right now because I have a bit of redstone left to do and I don't want to break it all before we really get it done. We'll wait until after we get it done to really break it. Alright, so give me just a minute. I'm going to run down underneath the floor and set up the pulse generator for the T flip-flop. And then we'll run it up to here and into this block so we can power it. So it'll probably come come this way, and I'll just have redstone running into that block. Alright, be right back. Hey guys, we're downstairs of the potions room, and I've been doing some work on this circuitry that is supposed to take the input from the T flip-flop and make a pulse out of it. And it seems like the server is a little too slow for that. It works great in single player, but on multiplayer it wasn't working quite so great. So there should be a pulse generating, so if I just place a block here, there should be at least a pulse come out of that. Same thing if I break it. You see there's no pulse going on over there. So, put that block back. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just use the other version, so the piston-based generator. So this would be the output right here. And with this, it goes with this staircase, and I'll show you where that connects into the upstairs part. And so here's the block switcher. This is the block that I had the button on. I'm just running a repeater directly into it now. And you have to have a repeater there, because if not, if you have just redstone dust, this repeater will power that dust. And I had to troubleshoot that as to why it wasn't working. So yeah, put a repeater there. Put a couple torches just to keep the area mob free. Yes, this area is mob free. Mobs are free to come. No, not quite. Alright, so all we need is one input for this. So what we're gonna do, let me get this out of the way. I'm just gonna run. Alright, so we need 3 spaces. I'll put torch, torch, sticky piston, because you know we have plenty of sticky pistons. Alright, we're gonna run this wire from there, and this wire from there, and then we're gonna put a block and a block. Cuts off the circuit. Alright, so in order to generate that circuit, we're going to put wire there and there. Come straight off this side into this one. And I'm going to come off this into here. Okay, so now if I place a block right here, we got a quick pulse, which is exactly what we want. If I break it, we get a quick pulse on the other side. Alright, so that actually turned out to be a little nicer down here. Let me put up a couple more torches, you know, just to keep the area safe. Rather than I have mobs popping up. Let's just put it right in the middle. There we go. It's a nice place for it. Let's make sure that we're still calibrated. See, I have this area all torn apart. Everything's all opened up. Alright. I think that my tick is just a little too short. Let me just extend that repeater. Alright, head back down. Alright, let's hit this one. Haha! Haha, yes! It's working. The only problem is it's backwards. Alright, that's actually a pretty easy fix. Let me just hop up here. I'm gonna disconnect this wire for just a second. Did I fix it? Are we closed? Alright, so the door is closed, the top is closed. Step on it. And that opens up. Yes, that's good, that's good. Door closes, and aha! That is working swimmingly. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get this all closed up. I'm glad to finally get this taken care of. I spent longer than I care to admit down here. Alright. No spawnable areas. I think we're good. Mobs should also be able to spawn on redstone, so let's make sure we have some torches up here too. Alright, so I'm going to put here, and I'm going to close this off. I'm just going to go ahead and just do this. I shouldn't need back up there anymore. Also, I'm going to need one more piston for that, because I used the extra pistons for the downstairs area there. So, if I put this here and here, my smooth sandstone across through here, and I may have used a couple pieces of that for other part too. No, I think we're good. We're good. Alright, let me grab another piston for that. Oh. Okay, we're back with the sticky piston. Let's run up here and put it right back in here. Right there, and ta-da, closed off. Okay, so it looks exactly the same as when we started. Alright, so that works there. Let's go on upstairs, and I just want to put the water in from the top. Okay, so I got the bucket of water. Let's go ahead and access this from the top. Alright, so this is where the water is going to be. I'm going to put down blocks here to keep it from escaping. Who knows where? Washing away all the wiring. Not be good. I'm gonna go ahead and put down extra a little bit because you might be able to see up to here. Okay. This is not actually where the water goes. I'm just using this to get out. Alright, there's one side. And the other side. So now we got a nice water source, and you know what? I'm just going to put blocks over top of that. There. That's all nice and clean. Nice and filled up. And it doesn't spill water out into the room, which is a good sign. Alright, so let's make sure that it actually, works for its intended purpose. So it opens up. Yeah, and we're able to fill up water bottles. Ta-da! It's very nice. So yeah. 1, 2, 3. And then whenever we're done making potions, we just walk away and it goes away. Okay, well that was mentally tiring. There was a lot of redstone trial and error that went into that. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode for now. Get this put up, and maybe eventually we'll actually get to work on the dispenser system upstairs. But this was just a cool idea I had, and I wanted to see how it would work out. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, just let me know. Have a good one.